everybody. Joyce here with the Traveling Gamblers, and I'm here by myself just to introduce this full, unedited Q&A session with the President of Celebrity Cruises.
Laura Hodges Bethge! Come on, come along. Hey. We gotta wake up. There's your panel. All right. Good morning, everyone. We feeling nervous? No. There's some personal questions to you, Captain. Just saying. Okay, so what we've done is we've had some pre-submitted questions. Okay, so they were pre-submitted by all of you people, loyalty members, guests, people from all over the world, all over the United States, and we have some of them here. Okay, but we're also gonna, at the end, open it up to an open forum a little bit. So you'll get to ask your question. So if you have a question, keep it in your head, and we're gonna have some people come around with the microphone. Okay, let's get the party started. So the first question actually comes from RJ. He's from Jacksonville, Florida. Where's my Floridians? Cruising capital of the world. And he asked, in one of your webinars, you had discussed having some leeway in designing some of the spaces on our new build, the Celebrity Excel. Are you willing to share some of the ideas? Okay, here we go.
I really want to, but the gentleman to my right won't allow me to. He's our Chief Marketing and Product Officer, and he's not ready to tell. So why don't you answer the question, Michael, because you won't let me say anything.
So it's definitely worth the wait. It's definitely worth the wait. What I will tell you is there's 7 completely new spaces that no one has seen before. Some of them are completely innovative and new for the industry, but they're all focused on all the things that you all love. So there's definitely going to be some new food experiences. The destination is going to be more exciting. I promise it's worth the wait. It's definitely worth booking. You want to make sure you can get there first. It's definitely worth the wait.
And when are we going to start talking about it?
Well,
You won't answer this question for me.
yeah. Shauna, next question.
Okay,
But
well,
Michael, I promise you there will be a navigation bridge and an engine room.
Thank you, Roland.
I was gonna say, are any of the 7 new spaces entertainment spaces? You can't say, all right. Oh, I don't know either, so don't go out there and think that I'm gonna give you the information because I don't know. They don't tell me anything because I hold the microphone and I'm the blabbermouth. Okay, here we go, next question. Now, this comes from Joanne. She's an elite member from Montreal, Canada.
My husband's Canadian. I love me some Canadians.
There's only 140 of us this cruise. We're a small but mighty crowd. Okay, they want to know, on the new Excel, the Celebrity Excel, coming soon, is there going to be more balconies versus infinity balconies? This is the age-old, this is the controversy. Okay.
So how many people love an infinite veranda? How many people hate an infinite veranda? There you go. There's probably a little bit more of the haters in the audience than there are the lovers. What I can tell you is that we have too many of them, given what you all have just said. I worked really hard, and we did actually really try to reduce the number of infinite verandas on Excel. We weren't able to. Don't clap for me yet. What happens is when you build the ship that way, the superstructure of the ship is actually in the center of the ship in order to carry the load that you need to have these infinite verandas. We couldn't in time change what we needed to change structurally because of the timing of when we wanted to do it with the shipyard. So unfortunately we weren't able to do that. I can tell you that we're dreaming about what comes next. We're always dreaming about new ship classes. And while we will have infinite verandas in the future, we will not have as many of them, right? So we have people that love them, we have people that hate them. There is literally no one in between. They're not like, oh, maybe this time I'm gonna have an infinite veranda, maybe next time I won't. No, you either love it or you hate it. So we hear you loud and clear, and we'll be adjusting that for future ship classes.
Yes, this is the debate. Okay, here we go. Next question is, we received a lot of questions about this actually, and it's about future deployment. So Francis, who's an elite member from New Jersey, wants to know, when will Celebrity have a ship in Bayonne during the winter? Sounds freezing.
I need more ships. So it's the age-old debate, and the debates are happening now. They only allow me in the room for the last 2 meetings, but this group with an extended team in the office is knee-deep in our deployment for 26 and 27. We will start to announce it in the fall. We've got some great things planned. The major areas of where we operate in the world will remain consistent. It's what all of you and our larger guest populations consistently telling us they want to visit. So I hear you, we get questions all the time. Can we have, we talked about last year a ship in Port Canaveral, that's happening. We get talking, you can clap for that, all right. My in-laws are happy, they live in satellite feed. So in addition, we've talked about Galveston before, that is top of mind. We've talked about Bayonne, so it's not like we don't want to have ships everywhere, we really do. We do have 13 large ships. And that's not that many, so we really do think through the itineraries, and not only what's obviously, we are a public company, so we do have to think about what you all are most interested in that's going to drive our revenue, but in addition, it's going to drive your guest satisfaction. So those two things we absolutely do balance as we think it through, and the goal is for us to have a larger fleet in the future. And when we have a larger fleet, we can have more ships in more places, right? And so we're working on that.
Great. Okay, so maybe it's gonna happen. Bring your snow pants. Okay, we're gonna go from one extreme to the other here. Sherry, an elite member from Charleston, asked, why does Celebrity not do round trip from San Diego or LA to Hawaii and the South Pacific? Oh, lots of interest there.
So there is, we did it in the past, we haven't done it in a really long time. There's a lot of sea days there, and so that's not necessarily, I know there are groups of people that really enjoy that. The challenge is that we probably couldn't, we know we couldn't fill the ship. There's not as many people that want that offering. So that's really the challenge. We have to really think about driving that broader demand and making sure that we can have this kind of atmosphere on every single one of our ships. So we continue to look at all different things. I know that our most loyal guests, like all of you, are always looking for different, longer, not repeating ports, etc. So I do know, because I did get an advanced copy of some deck that they couldn't hide from me, that we're working on something really interesting, and it's not done yet, but for 26, 27, it'll at least be 50 plus nights, I think is kind of where we are, where you won't repeat a port. So it won't be a world cruise, if you will, but kind of like a grand voyage. And we're working to add even more. So anywhere from 50 to 80 nights, I think, is what we're working on. It's about getting, obviously, into those ports and being able to get the berthing and secure all of that. So can't tell you exactly what it is yet, but the team's working on it. We hear you loud and clear that you want these exotic, longer, back-to-back-to-back-to-backs that are really interesting, and we're working on that for 26, 27.
Perfect. Thank you, Laura. Okay, let's do this. On the count of 3, everyone yell out loud your favorite port. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Sydney!
Okay, did you catch all that?
Got it. We're going to all those places.
All right, here we go. Thomas, an elite member from Texas, asked, has there been any discussion that we'll have Celebrity cruises sailing from the port of Galveston? If so, when will that happen?
So again, we want to. It's not that we don't want to. Especially, I think I was talking to him. Somebody asked me about Galveston, and I'm wondering if it's the same person who asked me the question. Our sister brand, Royal Caribbean International, does home port out of there, has had tremendous success. We're now branching out. As you know, we're going to be in all of the home ports in Miami, or in Florida, which is fantastic. So Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Tampa, Port Canaveral, etc., and really taking advantage of that. And so it does make sense that over time we just need more ships.
We have built a net zero terminal over there for Royal Caribbean International, which is a new facility, amazing, and net zero.
Okay, very nice. More ships, I'm all in. We'll need more cruise directors. Think about it, people. All right. We have classic member Dino said good news about the Celebrity status match. Happy about that. However, is it being considered to allow members to choose which loyalty program they want to earn points towards after a completed cruise? That's why I only need to build up one cruise line program instead of doing it individually. Did you get all that? Yeah.
Yeah, so for now, it is staying where you have to go on the actual brand in order to build up your status. We're constantly looking at different ways. You know, the idea really behind the reciprocity was to keep people within our family of brands. So one of the things we discovered as we were talking to a lot of different guests, et cetera, is that, you know, couples would come on Celebrity, and then when they took their family, they'd go on NCL. Or, you know, a family would go on Royal Caribbean, and then as a couple, they'd go on Princess. And what we started to realize is we really need to keep it within our ecosystem, within our family of brands. That way we can know who you are better, give you better service across all of our portfolio. So that's really been the focus with the reciprocity piece. And so with that, for now, it'll continue to stay where you need to earn the points within the brand you're selling.
Okay, we do have a few more questions about the loyalty program for all you Captain's Club members out there. Denise, who is an Elite Plus member from South Carolina, asked, when will Celebrity expand their loyalty program to include more tier benefits? Yeah. Ooh, a buzz booster.
All right, so I asked about this. They gave me like a little cheat sheet because we've added quite a lot of enhancements recently, so I wanted to recap them. So we retreat access back for our Zenith members, amazing, and it's not going away, I promise. We added also cruise only rates for our Zenith members in the retreat because you get all of those things included, so we did that. An exclusive cocktail hour lounge space, 2 to 3 times per cruise. We added that back because we hear loud and clear that you want to get together, you want to talk to each other, you want to meet each other, you want to share stories. We added the cocktail hour back on embarkation day, and then we did this new reciprocity. So we have done quite a few things. We're always looking at ways to enhance our member benefits. I think what's really important is that there's a lot of them, right? And so some of them are not really that widely used, but we're also very sensitive to changing things because sometimes that makes you unhappy when we do it. So it's challenging because we have to make sure that we're balancing the things that you really value, to have 100 benefits that don't get used doesn't really make sense. So it's a constant balance, and one of the things that I've promised, and you know Andrea Shea very well, we do these webinars together, her and I, we're going to be constantly, and that was our promise, talking to you, asking for your feedback before we make any changes. One thing that I can also say is that we're never going to make 100% of you happy. I really want to. Darn it, we try. But we're always really focused on making sure that the majority, that we're listening and making sure that we're making changes for the majority. So as we go to alter things and make changes or add new benefits, sometimes that means we have to take some things away because there are only so many beds for our crew on board the ship. And they have to deliver those services to you, right? And so we need to make sure that we're balancing all those things. But the commitment will be that we will talk about it, that we will get your feedback before we do it, and make sure that we're addressing for the majority always.
Okay. Thank you, Laura. One more loyalty question, and then we're going to move on to a different topic here. Alan, a Zenith member from Palm Coast, Florida, said, I just read the Pinnacle, Cheers with an Officer, event is based on points, therefore Zeniths are excluded. Can the Zenith lunch also be based on 3K points? It takes a long time to make Zenith, and the lunch is cherished by all who make 3K points and above. It is an incredibly special time for us to meet the officers on each ship.
Great question. So one of the most important things in the guiding principles when we did the reciprocity was we didn't want to take anything away from anybody. And so the specific example on the Royal brand, they've always run it based on points, and that's who gets included. And so that's why they kept it that way. For Celebrity, nothing's changing with the Zenith lunch, nothing's changing with the lounges. You know, even when we look at how many Pinnacles or now Zeniths that are sailing with us, it's very few. The President's Cruise is you know the big one, but other than that, there really aren't a lot. So there shouldn't be any change or any impact to any of the events or things you get to do. Still plenty of time to schmooze with officers and everybody else.
And I think the other thing is, so what is on Celebrity versus Royal that are capacity controlled. It was, or things that, you know, Pinnacle didn't get that Zenith got or vice versa, really had to do with capacity, right? So again, for Zenith and the Retreat Lounge, we do that by points. If, you know, to Michael's point, on most sailings, there's 4 to 6 or 6 to 8 Pinnacles that are joining us, so it's very, very small. And so we want to expand the family and meet new friends, and you all love to share stories and get to know each other. So it's not a big impact. Where we did make it, you know, that reciprocity on either side was really truly based on the capacity of the spaces. That's what it was about.
Okay, perfect. We're going to switch topics here. We're going to talk about the environment a little bit. We have a great question here. David, who's an elite member from New York, asked, what is the company's strategy for staying ahead of the curve in terms of sustainability and environmental initiatives? And how do you plan to reduce the industry's carbon footprint? It's a good question.
I can take this. Actually, this is a topic that is very close to our heart, not only for the industry, but for our crew and officers that we live and breathe here. And this is our home. And we are in the ocean sailing, and so we absolutely feel that we want to protect the environment and the oceans. And I can tell you that this topic is so centered on every executive meeting that we do in our company. The decarbonization and the sustainability is part of our main strategy for the future. I can also tell you that our company is investing a lot on new technologies. I do believe that our company is going to drive innovation to make sure that we drive the sustainability and reducing the carbon emission and footprint. Absolutely, we are building ships with interim new technologies and future technologies just to test, because you know the new fuels or the new fuel technology is not there yet. So we are willing to work with partnerships around the world that we innovate and we test what will take us to net zero in the years to come. And this is so important for all of us and for our children and our grandchildren. So it is absolutely at the center. I can also give you a little tip of, can I talk about Excel? Yes, okay. I can talk about the engine and about the bridge.
So Manolis, that's it though, Manolis.
Will we have a martini bar on Excel? And a theater?
Manolis, you can answer that.
Plug your ears, Michael.
There will be a martini bar, I can confirm.
Okay guys, back to the serious. Enough with. This ship is going to be equipped, it's the first ship in our company that's going to be equipped with 2 engines that they will be burning green methanol. It's a prototype engine for the cruise industry, and while the supply is not there yet, we are investing to make sure that we have engines that they are fuel flexible, we call them, so they can burn different types of fuels that will drive this innovation I was talking to you earlier. We are very proud for Royal Caribbean Group really driving innovation for the industry.
Thank you, Captain Manolis. All right, we're switching gears and we're putting the spotlight on Captain Leo. There's some very intimate questions for you.
Okay, well, it's too early for a very intimate question.
Okay, here we go. No, I'm kidding. So, first up, this one comes from San Francisco, and they said, no question, just a thank you for all you do to keep us safe during our journey.
Well, thank you.
You planted that in there.
That was an easy one.
Okay, so this is a real question for you. From Roseanne, an Elite Plus member in Florida, wants to know what made you decide to become a captain?
Yes. Before I go there, I would like to thank our leaders and our president for including a bridge on the Excel. It's very important to me. I decided to become a captain at a very young age because I have strong heritage in my family. So I'm a fourth generation captain myself at the moment, but before I joined this line of career path, I would say, I was influenced by stories of adventures and ships set in my family environment. So everybody was related one way or the other to shipping. No one worked on cruise ships. However, once again, hearing stories about ships, adventures, travels all over the planet, this excited me as a young boy. Now, so many years later, to have accomplished my dream, it means the world to me, especially starting my career on tanker ships, and being totally coincidental that I would ever work on the cruise industry. It so happened that I was on my second year working on tankers when, before I joined my contract, my father had a friend who heard about a company named Celebrity, and he said, "Why don't you apply for Celebrity? You never know what happens." And I was in the other side of the world. Technology obviously was not the technology that we have today, and once per month or once per couple of weeks that I used to call back home with a satellite phone, my father said, "They call you from Celebrity." And I said, "And they want you to go on a ship in 3 weeks' time." Now the coincidence is that the tanker ship was visiting a port in a couple of days' time. So I got the captain, I said, "Captain, I'm going home in a couple of days." And the rest is history.
And look at him now.
Lucky us.
Okay, one more for you here. John, an Elite Plus member from Florida, wants to know what is the hardest ship maneuver? This gets asked a lot.
The hardest ship maneuver. I would say, and Captain Manolis will prove me true, I guess, that we would never say a maneuver is hard or a maneuver, and we definitely never say a maneuver is easy. You know, there is one thing we always try to avoid is complacency. So if we start by saying a maneuver is easy, a maneuver is hard, then we are already giving room for unfortunate events to happen. Having said that, the factors that could affect a maneuver would be obviously environmental conditions, regardless the port, and by definition, some ports have more maneuvering room, which gives us more freedom, you know, etc., etc. So all factors combined, room for maneuvering, you know, surface in order to be able to move a ship of this magnitude and this size, environmental conditions, number one factor, the winds and the current, contribute in saying that that maneuver, a specific date, is difficult or more difficult than others. But if I really have to choose one, a few months back we brought the Beyond, first time ever to cross the Panama Canal locks, and trust me, that is a very tight maneuver.
I was here for that. I was here for that. I was on the bridge that day, distracting everyone. Okay, so we're going to move the spotlight from Captain. You're out of the hot seat, and we're going to go over to Keith. We're going to ask you something, Keith. Keith's our Senior Vice President of Hotel Operations, and we're going to ask, David, an elite member from New York, asked, what technologies or innovations are being explored to enhance the onboard experience for passengers, such as improved Wi-Fi or enhanced entertainment options?
Oh, I love entertainment. First, I want to say, you know, the last 14 or 15 months have been incredible under Laura's leadership. And I have to tell you how much this sailing means to us and to Laura and her leadership team, that all of you would join us. So thank you for your loyalty. We sincerely appreciate it. And then, as we talk about all the time, we can't do this without our guests, but we also can't do this without our wonderful crew. So I'd really like to thank, on behalf of all of us, the beautiful crew on Celebrity Beyond, the leadership team as well. And then, as all of you know, we have a lot of our headquarters support team here, and they're making sure this is a wonderful cruise. So hopefully the food, the culinary experiences, the drinks, that you've had a wonderful time this week. So thank you to that team as well. A lot of them are sitting over there. We are always, and I wish we could talk about Excel because there's exciting things, but we have winks, little winks towards what you might see. And if you remember Ascent, Celebrity Ascent, in the club we have augmented reality 80s retro games where you are actually playing the game with your feet. You play things like Pong and other games on the floor, and it's virtual on the floor. We also have a wonderful room. It's called the Annex, but it's really a virtual reality room where you can play golf, soccer, football, baseball, and do karaoke with F&B with your friends. So that's kind of some things. And then we also, on the second level of the club, have games. So we're kind of introducing some adult video games that remind us all of the 80s or the 90s or whatever generation you love. So that's cool. As far as Wi-Fi, we're really looking at, when you think about the staterooms and you think about the capability we now have to stream, it's more in stateroom opportunities that we're looking at. A lot of people don't turn on the TV anymore. They're looking at their devices, so we're focused on that. Obviously with Starlink, we're always looking at improving. It's not easy when you're out at sea with Wi-Fi all the time, but we feel like Starlink has really taken us to the next level. And anytime we have an opportunity to enhance that, we are focused on it. So thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. Now, I am in just a moment going to open it up to anyone that has a burning question. Now, it can be, getting to know these people better, maybe their background. It can be about Celebrity Cruises, the future of Celebrity Cruises. Don't ask anything about Celebrity Excel to Michael. He won't answer you. But we're going to do that. But before I do that, is there anyone that wanted to say anything else, or should we go right to questions?
It can be questions that are not burning.
Doesn't have to be burning.
Why do we call them burning?
Shauna, I have a question though.
You do?
This is for the audience.
Okay.
Yesterday, Captain Kurt and Captain Manolis joined many of us on a catamaran to swim with the stingrays. And I got a little nervous because the captains were afraid of the stingrays.
Yeah.
So I think what was comforting for all of us, though, is they were very focused on the safety of the catamaran, which was nice. But they would not touch or kiss, which I did both, the stingrays. I wonder why.
One second. I think that most of the guests will agree with me that the stingrays is a different species. And it's not to be kissed, it's not to be hugged, and very respectfully, I give them their personal space. So I don't understand what he's talking about.
By personal space, you mean 50 yards.
I saw
kids. Okay, kids.
I was gonna say, I saw children hugging the stingrays. Okay, shall we go on to some questions? All right, we have Mark, your activity manager here, and Guy, your activity host. And if you have a burning question, just pop up your hand, and they're gonna come on over. We're gonna start with Mark, your activity manager, your side.
I saw you first, so come on down.
Hi, I'm Susan. I'm an elite member from Florida. And this is a burning question. I use a cane, a walker, a wheelchair, and a scooter at different environments. I'm always trying to give you accessibility feedback. I feel it's very needed. Some things are little tweaks. Some things are big things that you could fix on the next ship. What is the accessibility executive pathway in your organization? If I had accessibility info, what can I do beyond writing it on my comment sheet?
His name is Ron Pettit. I actually hired him. So 25 years ago, or 24-ish and a half years ago when I joined the company, I actually came to the company to make it accessible for people with disabilities. That's why they hired me. And so we've done a lot since then, but we can always do better. And so Ron Pettit is still in the job. And when I left that job, I hired him, and he's fantastic. He happens to be hard of hearing, and we have he has a group, like a bit of an advisory board that he uses to give feedback. So R Pettit, Pettit at celebrity.com, and he would love to hear from you, honestly. That kind of feedback is super valuable, and we will have a stream, an accessibility stream, with our new ship classes. We always do that, right? So again, we don't get things 100% perfect, but we really appreciate the feedback. Feedback is an absolute gift, and anything that we can do to make it better, we're going to want to do that.
You're not going to give out my email address, are you?
mshiner@celebrity.com. SCHEI.
She's writing it all down. Look out. Did you get that?
954.
Everybody has mine. Everybody has mine. L. Hodges Bethge at celebrity.com. It's all good.
Cabin number 8. No, okay. Go ahead.
This is Tom. I'm an Elite Plus member. You know I'm from San Francisco. I sent a letter to you that some time ago. Actually, it was addressed to Lisa before you was through the throne. I'd like you to bring a ship to San Francisco. In the past, your crews on your older ships love San Francisco. Okay, I think the city should have a ship out there from your fleet. Okay.
I love San Francisco. So.
Now, Captain Laura, you and your husband are welcome to them, and you all right in front of me are more than welcome to come to city in San Francisco. Forget the bad publicity you've been hearing. We're not like that. Okay? I yield back, like they say in Congress.
Thank you. Again, we need a bigger fleet. I absolutely love San Francisco. Sean and I get out to San Fran and Napa quite often. We love it out there. So thank you for that.
Okay, Mark, who do you have over there?
In the front.
Hi, my name is Andrew. I'm Elite Plus from Orlando, Florida. So this is in the spirit of Michael, we were talking about earlier about keeping people within the overall brand. Very loyal to Royal, including Royal and Celebrity. So you were talking about Crown and Anchor and Captain's Club. I'm coming more as a casino guest. I'm in the casino all the time, blue chip. So my question is, you guys have been working, I know, behind the scenes. Some of it's been very evident to us. Last year you combined the casino departments. This year you started offering the certificates like Royal does. Thank you for that. My question is, and it's not an if, because I believe it's going to happen, it's a when. When are you going to combine Blue Chip and Club Royale to make the best casino rewards program at sea? When are you going to do that?
So I don't have a when, and I don't even have an if. I'm just being honest with you. So I did say to somebody that I was talking to yesterday that I swear there's a mole in our offices, because you all know about things before we even communicate them. So I don't know how it happens. I really don't. And the reason why we're sensitive about when and how we communicate is because we have lots of discussions about a lot of things that absolutely never happen, right? Never. Because we're constantly talking about how do we make things better, how do we tweak things, what should we do, etc. And casino's no different. So we're, with Celebrity, it's a very small population of our customers, but a very important population. So thank you, all of you, for your donations. I hope you win every now and then, but I really, really appreciate the donations. We are continually making strides. Are we on a journey internally to talk about what does our casino loyalty program look like? How does it morph and change? Have we had conversations about merging them? Yes. Have we made any decisions? No. Is it an active, ongoing conversation right now? No. But that doesn't mean that tomorrow I'm going to change my mind. So what I think is really important is you have my commitment, and I did talk to somebody else about casino in the last few days, that we're probably not communicating as good as we can be when we do make changes. And so I heard that loud and clear. We've taken that back to the team already. We will make sure it is our commitment. If we're going to make a change, we need to communicate it. I also got this comment as well, which was, and I'll use a little bit of what Shauna said, we don't tell the ships the changes until 24 or 48 hours before they happen. And that's on purpose. No, it really is on purpose. We need them focused on not what's going to change, but what they're doing each and every day to provide this exceptional service to all of you. Again, one of the comments I got was, I was telling the ship it was going to happen before they knew, and I'm like, well, it really wasn't decided yet. So I would just ask that, one, trust us that we're trying to do the absolute best we can for all of you. It really is our goal and our mission to make you exceptionally, exceptionally happy. That is my number one goal. When you all are happy, we win, right? We all collectively win. So there's zero desire on our part to do something that is not something you enjoy, right? We want to make sure that it's something that you absolutely love and enjoy. So we're on the journey with casino loyalty, and there are lots of things to come, but there is honestly no if and or date right now about merging those programs.
I was going to say, in addition, I know loyalty is important, but over the last year, part of that merging, which has benefited us, is we've significantly improved these slot machines, and we have the newest slots in the industry, which was important for Celebrity.
And your donations.
And the donations. But obviously that's important because you want it to reflect the casino that you expect, and we're very close to being there right now, and we continue to focus on that.
Just got additional investment as well for more slot machines. So.
Okay, he looks happy. The casino players are feisty this morning. Guy, who do you have?
We need to wrap this up so they can get back in there.
Yeah.
I'm Janet. I'm a newly matched Zenith from Florida. My original question was actually also about casino transparency, so I'm going to pivot and ask if we're looking at any menu changes in the main dining room.
That's a great question. You guys are very sensitive about any changes we make in the main dining room. So again, we're really, really careful about that. I think we have a really good menu set up now in the main dining room. We have, I think it's 14 or 18 different menus, 14, that go on rotation, etc. So we're getting great comments and great feedback. Since we've come back from the thing we don't like to speak about, we have obviously new crew that are funneling in, and we're consistently training and training and training. So right now we don't have any real intentions of making any massive changes. Does the F&B team tweak things from time to time? One of the things that inspires me about our chefs, and this year I've been working in the galley as we've been doing ship visits collectively together, and it's just been really, really fun and inspiring for me, because I really do like to cook, even though I'm very nervous about this cooking competition this afternoon. It's going to give me the heebie-jeebies. So not right now, but we like to allow them to have the room to kind of dream up new things and try new things and concept develop, etc. So every now and then you'll see, maybe you have a menu that you really enjoy when you're on board, you'll see one dish kind of tweaked and switched out, right? That's us trying something new and getting feedback, etc. When we go and do that, we actually rank, because we know everything you all order, right? Our POS system allows us to do that, even though we're not charging you for it in the main dining room, we're logging it, right? Because it helps us with what we need to order, what inventory we need, etc. And so anytime that you see a swap out, it's because that's the least ordered item. Now again, somebody did order it, and somebody did like it, and that's usually the person I hear from, because darn it, it's gone now. We took the chicken off, and we didn't mean to make you upset, but that's ultimately what happens. So it's those tweaks. With Excel, I'm not going to say anything bad. With Excel, we are looking at, anytime we bring out a new ship, we always try some new things as well. So I think in the main dining room, when we launch Excel, we'll try some new things. So that you guys can experience that, and then we learn from that as well. And then we hear kind of what's a resounding success and what's not, and then we tend to roll it back.
It will be food on Excel. I can confirm.
Okay, I'll tell you what's not to be missed on the menu. Chocolate cake, the lava cake, the prime rib. I could go on and on. I'll let you know. All right, which side are we on? Mark's side?
Okay, I'm Marcia from Florida. I'm Marcia. Okay, I'm Marcia from Florida, and I want to say thank you very much for doing the status match, because I'm Pinnacle over at Raw in Caribbean, and this is my first cruise on Celebrity as a Zenith, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm looking forward to sharing that on our Facebook group when I get back about my positive experience. Secondly, I heard the casino is changing. I'm a degenerate roulette player, and we want to know if there's going to be additional free play, since we're always donating to the casino and to the new ships.
Anything that I can do to encourage you to make your donations bigger, I'm going to try. So we do have, again, there's some talks going on internally right now and some things that are going to shift. And I think you'll be hearing those things later in the year once we can settle on what they are. But they're not firm or final at this point, but we're working on it. So it is an active discussion going on in terms of the types of free play, how to encourage, and what's the right way to go about it.
Okay. Over to
this couple
Guy.
here? Yeah.
Yep.
I have a question just basically design. It's Excel and going forward. We were on the I'm a brand new Pinnacle because of the melding of the programs. Oh, well, Xena, wife, sorry. Anyway, it's a design question. On the icon, the elevators were amazing. It's where you push a little button outside and it tells you which car to go on, and it was just so much more civilized. Is that something you're looking at to do going forward as well?
Short answer is yes, right? So the technology of things just kind of, moves really great, and we should take advantage of that. There's also, I would say, on Icon, the crew staterooms are absolutely spectacular. So the beautiful thing about being part of a group is that there's things that we can obviously learn from each brand, right? That still keep our brands very, very distinct, because that is very important to us. As we're starting to think about our next class of ships, and Royal Caribbean International is thinking about their next class of ships, we actually have a Chinese wall in between us, Michael and I call it, because him and I have worked together for a very, very long time. We've developed a lot of things together, but we want to make sure that we're creating very, very distinct products. So we don't talk about the guest-facing side of things, but we do talk about the things that we can learn from each other and take forward. The crew staterooms are one, elevators are another, and there's a laundry list. When you think about the tri-fuel engine that Manolis was talking about that we're doing on Excel, is that what we should be doing for next classes of ships? Our marine spaces, our engine spaces, all the things that we can learn from each other that do not impact the guest experience, because we want to make sure that those things are very, very distinct.
So we are revealing stuff. We have crew staterooms.
Calm down.
We have elevators.
Elevators, a bridge.
A bridge.
Some engines.
Let me know when you go on the elevator on this ship. I will be your personal host. I will make your experience extraordinary, sir. That's how I started my career, actually, the elevator button boy. I know how to do this very well.
He's preparing for the Liars Club game show tonight, let me tell you.
All right.
Okay, we have time for a couple more. Remember, our captains are here as well. Where are you, Mark? There you
I
are.
have an environmental question, so that's going to be for them.
What a segue.
Yes, I'm Bob from Naples. I'm Elite. What is the status of R&D on hydrogen fuel cell?
We are testing a fuel cell. We're testing green methanol. In the interim, we are using LNG as an interim fuel. Hydrogen is something that we are very interested in. It's not there yet to be implemented on cruise ships because of the nature of the fuel and the gas. But we're looking at all different interesting solutions, like carbon capture technologies. We're looking at everything possible that is out there, and as I said before, we will drive the solution, absolutely. But thank you for the question.
And one of the things, and you all probably know this, when we said by 2035 we're going to have a net zero ships, and by 2050 our fleet will be net zero, we actually have no idea how that's going to ultimately come to fruition. But the reason that you set lofty goals like that and you put those things out there is because you need entire industries to come along with you. You have to set those lofty goals so that we can then drive to that level of innovation that will get us there. So this is an industry problem. It's something that we absolutely all need to work on together, and we are. And by putting those things out there, we're starting to see partners come to the table to help us learn, invest in these new technologies to help us get there. So we're committed to it for sure.
Great question. Okay, couple more. Guy, over to you.
Hi, Bruce and Kara. We're Elite Plus members. We've sailed exclusively with Celebrity for 27 years, and we've been on 53 cruises, and we've got 14 more already booked. So there's only been 2 disappointments, and I'd like to make a suggestion. One is that our goal had always been to get up to Zenith, and we were getting close to that, and then you moved it up by 50% from 2,000 to 3,000 points. And it looks like it's, unless you're a suite guest, it's almost impossible. So my suggestion is, why couldn't there be a combination of points and the number of cruises? So people like us that just can't afford to do suites, but like to go on a lot of cruises, it'd be nice that we could get the benefit. And then the second suggestion is, we live in Vegas, and the West Coast is California, Phoenix, or Arizona. A lot of people out there. You used to have celebrity cruises out of San Diego, and then of course you had a lot of them out of Los Angeles, and now you've gotten rid of all West Coast cruises. Definitely would like to see you get something back there.
Thank you very much for your feedback. First, on your loyalty piece, thank you so much. Andrew was taking notes with Viv down here in the front. We're constantly having those discussions, so thank you so much for that. And then when I think about West Coast cruising, one of the things that the Royal Caribbean Group has pioneered and why I've been so passionate about bringing celebrity guests to Perfect Day is the private destination experience. And we do that to augment the other ports that we go to, right? So it really allows us, one, to curate a really great experience for you, but then it allows us more places to go, right, as different areas of the world get saturated. On the West Coast, it is challenging to get to certain ports that are of interest, that drive really high consumer demand. And so we do think that over time, building out a potential, destination experiences there would really help attract us to back to the West Coast. Our sister brand, Royal Caribbean International, is back out there doing quite well. And I think over time, you will see us start to grow there. Again, we need a bigger fleet. So it's what's the highest and best use of those 13 big ships each and every year when we set up to set out our deployment. And so it's something we consistently look at, and it would be honestly super helpful to us as we grow the fleet. So it's definitely top of mind.
Perfect. Okay, I know there's so many good questions, but I have a couple more that were pre-submitted, but Mark's gonna do one more here.
Maybe here front and center. We have here, yes?
Well, my question is also about the deployment, because we have no ships on the West Coast from September to May, and there are an awful lot of us that just don't care where we go. We want to just take a cruise, and we have LA, San Diego, Cabo, San Francisco, just a lot of places that even if we had shorter cruises, which would probably be very successful, but those ships, I said a few years ago, I didn't care if I ever went back to Mexico, but when Celebrity Eclipse was in, or it was Eclipse or Solstice, I don't remember which one, we did 4 trips because we would just hop on in LA, just like people do here in Florida, and take a cruise. We didn't care where it went. We'd go to Cabo and if we got off, that's fine. If we didn't, that was okay. Because we just want to take a cruise, but we don't have any ships on the West Coast.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you for the comment.
Okay, we're gonna take one more front row center because Mark was already over there. And then I'm gonna get to some questions about the crew that were submitted.
Thank you. Phil, I'm Elite Plus. And my question is not about your ships. It's not about your destinations or where you're leaving from. It's about each of you. I'd like to know what is your most memorable experience or thing you're most proud of in your time at Celebrity?
That's a great
question.
That's a great question. So I've been with the company for 3 years, and my background's not from cruise. So it's been an amazing 3 years. There's a lot of memorable experiences. I think the new campaign and brand positioning we launched has to be it. It was done completely internal. Our team, back in the headquarters, worked on it. And I think just watching the team around you do something that they probably didn't think they could do going into it. Most brands of our size hire a big agency. So I think just sitting back and watching the team execute, and hopefully you all like it. I know the response we've gotten so far has been super positive. So watching the team grow and be successful has been a blessing.
Okay, we have a couple questions that were submitted about our crew.
Shauna doesn't want to, we don't want to know.
What happened? Was it to Keith as well? Did I ignore you?
No, we'll be quick. We'll be quick. That's a great question, by the way. So 20 years with the group, backgrounds, HR, sales, etc., and then the last 2 years in hotel operations. And I have to tell you that it's always been about people for me, but the most impactful, meaningful experience I've ever had is that we've had the pleasure for the last 2 years of visiting our entire fleet a couple times. And I remember my first couple months visiting with the crew, whether it's going and seeing housekeeping, talking to F&B, going and serving rice to the crew, because no rice, no power. They love rice. has been the most magical experience of my life. If the world could be like our crew, the world would be a better place.
You love rice.
Oh, we're all going to say?
Yeah.
How long do I have?
About 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
Get the hook ready.
It's 10 seconds past. Okay, I was also raised, I will say, in the celebrity family. I'm 30 years with this company, like since I was a cadet. And to choose just one moment is very difficult for me. I will tell you, when I was sailing as a captain for 10 years, the guests kept asking me, what's your favorite place, your favorite port, your favorite destination? I will say that looking outside my window every single day is a different experience that stayed with me. I know while you are cruising, all of you, you are in the moment in every place you go. So enjoy, cherish every moment of traveling, because that's what stays with me. I will always remember, and then the interaction with our crew has always been very, very special for me. Every single crew member that I met, and when I go on the ships, it's given me so much happiness to tell me, you know, you taught me safety. We were together on that ship.
Yeah.
It's so, so special to meet so many people from all over the world, and that's why I started traveling.
Can I just add one thing really quick? So it has been a lifelong dream of mine to be a cruise director. And it never happened. But Shauna is giving me the ability to call bingo today at 3 p.m. So after the cooking competition, I expect many of you to come, give us your donations. Let me see how I do as a cruise director. And yeah.
It's his audition.
It's my audition.
I gave him all the corny bingo jokes. Nobody worry. Okay.
I knew them actually.
Okay, I'll bring this home really quickly, and thank you for the question, but I have so many amazing moments in the almost 25 years that I've been with the group. What I can say is there's two things that really stand out, and I think I said this story, so if I'm repeating it, and I think I said it on mic on the stage, so I'll go really quickly. When I walked on board Millennium on my first ship visit in this new role, and was embraced by this celebrity family, and this amazing culture, and this warm hug that you all feel like, and that our crew members just did, and every single one of them do that day in and day out, and it feels so good, and it's so special, and I knew it existed, but to be able to be in this role and get to shepherd that is an honor of a lifetime, so it's amazing. The second one is when we were taking delivery of Celebrity Ascent in the yard, we threw a party for the crew. The ship was so ready. I mean, the most ready I've ever seen a ship come out of the yard. It was just so ready. And so we opened up the guest areas to the crew and threw a party for the crew. And so we were in the Martini Bar in the Grand Plaza, serving them drinks, etc. We were all dancing together, and it was just joy. To see them be able to experience what they deliver to you each and every day just inspires me, and that's an image and an experience that I'll never ever forget.
Captain Leo, you want to take a stab at the question?
Oh, yes. I'll be very fast. I'll take the next 10 seconds of Captain Manolis, and I will say, it's all about people, I agree. And I have been blessed to be working for this company for 27 years and working with individuals from all over the world. I can now say that it is our differences that bring people together. They do not separate us. And this is what I learned here. So this is the most important part of me, but I would like to add something extra, because a few years back during the pandemic, we also realized not how important people are, but also how important and how this company treats its people. And trust me, the way the company treated the individuals, they sent them back home, they paid for all the expenses, they have them in hotels for the quarantine periods needed, paid for everything, and make sure everybody made it safely back home. Each and every person from all over the world. And this is the company that you sail with.
And President Laura had a huge hand in that as well. I always say that. I don't have any negative memories of that time, during the unmentionable thing on board. I actually have a lot of good memories from it. Okay, that was a great question to end the forum on. Do you want to say something? Okay, we have a couple burning crew questions before we wrap things up here. I think this is the biggest burning crew question. Will Shauna be cruise director on Excel? No, I'm just joking. Okay, let's do the actual crew question. All right. Mac Keller, an Elite Plus member from Florida, wrote, "Perhaps you can expand on how well you take care of the hardworking crew. I think most guests are curious about those who take such wonderful care of us."
Yeah, so I have a few stats here because I think it's really, it's just amazing. 14,000 crew members throughout our fleet from 120 countries. Can you imagine, it's just amazing. And I think Captain Leo, you said it the first night, 1,418 crew members on the beautiful Celebrity Beyond from 73 countries, right? So just how they are able to work together, interact, it's absolutely special, and they deliver these amazing experiences to you. 90% of our crew returned post-COVID. So, that is a huge testament to them wanting to be here, right? Which is amazing. Obviously, all the room and board, etc., everything's taken care of while they're on board the ships, right? We were down in the crew mess on Seafarers Day, and we were all our mouths were watering as the great food that we have in the crew mess for our crew members. And that's so important because we need to nourish them so that they can nourish you. We also have a lot of really great recognition programs. So some things we do instantly, you get an instant scratch card or things of that nature. Some things we do monthly, quarterly, and annually. But some of those things include bonuses, obviously. We do free Wi-Fi days as well, which is great. And they love free Wi-Fi. Extra days off we do also from time to time people earn. We give out specialty dining and things of that nature to crew members of the quarter and things like that. So there's all different types of really great recognition programs, making sure that we obviously take exceptional care of our crew so that they can take exceptional care of you.
Yes. All right.
So one more time, let's give it up for the crew of the Celebrity Beyond.
Come on, we got them here. Come on down. We got the crew of the Celebrity Beyond. Hit it, Vivette. There they are. We have your team, your guest relations director, Julie. We have your future cruise vacations team, your associate hotel director, revenue director. We have your inventory manager there. We have the spa team, your waiters, your assistant waiters, your galley team, the chefs. Give it up for the housekeepers! Look at all these beautiful food and beverage people. They're the ones that are keeping your tummy full. Do you love the food on the Beyond? Here they come, high fives all around as they come down the aisles. These are your favorite crew members. They're dancing their way down the aisles. One more time, huge cheer for the Beyond crew! On the line. We always say it is the crew that make the ship. And I just want to thank you all for coming here today for our conversation with celebrities, with our fantastic leadership panel, headed by, of course, our president of Celebrity Cruises, Laura Hodges Bethge. Huge round of applause for them. Thank you for your such well-spoken answers and giving us all the tea. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Shauna, your cruise director. We'll see you back here at 2 o'clock for our President Cruises cooking competition. It's all happening right here in the theater.